Hello, this is Jane Broby coming to you from JB Solutions for Education. And this is a workshop on what you can do when your child's IEP goals are the same year after year. How I got started in this was that about 21 years ago now, my younger son was diagnosed as having autism. And it was a complete it was a very shocking, and it was a struggle because back then, there was no Facebook and we didn't have a lot of help. So my husband and I would sit up at night trying to figure out how we could help him. And so as the years went on, I have gotten into trying to help parents because I understand what they're going through. I am a member of the Master IEP Coach Network. So if there's ever a question of yours that I can't answer, I have a whole group of people across the country that can help. I am a homeschool coach. So not only do I often tutor students who are homeschooling. It doesn't matter if they're special ed or regular ed. Um, I also do homeschooling evaluations at the end of the year for the state of Virginia. I am a certified spelling coach. Not only does my son have autism, but he does not talk. So therefore, he is what's known as a speller, and he types everything on the text board, keyboard. And I also do regular and special needs tutoring. So I wear a lot of different hats. And you may be feeling like this and very frustrated and needing help. Well, I'm here to do that for you. I can help you get going. I can help you get the services that you need. Um, how to get the school system that you're in um, to give you what you need. There are many reasons why IEP goals often stay the same. There are sometimes things that are missing. Data. We don't have data to help explain what your child needs to learn. What are the accommodations? If your child has a disability, then he or she needs a accommodation. And so what needs to happen in terms of getting that accommodation? To get that accommodation, the teachers and administration need to presume competence. And they need not to, like with my son, who is um, non-speaking and has autism, um, they did not, they assumed that he was struggling. He was, because he could not speak to them and he did not have a system at the time. So they just assumed he was not going to ever function and he couldn't do this. And they said his IQ was below a 70, which wasn't true. And I kept asking him, I said, well, how are you scoring? How are you testing him? Because, he has a different, are you doing it based on his learning style? Oh, we have special tests, blah, 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 blah. But what they didn't understand was that my son, and I didn't understand at the time either, when he was reading things, everything was this way to him. It had to be eye level. He didn't do well reading things that were flat on the table. And that wasn't taken into consideration. So oftentimes his answer were wrong. And so that would make his score lower. So somebody has to say something. We have to do something. Either I, as your advocate, I can tell you what to tell them when you go into the IEP meeting, or I can go for you. Either one. Somebody needs to say something to get your child's IEP goals straightened out. They have to have some data. Um, you will have to collect data if you feel that your child has had enough with just adding double-digit numbers and you want them to go on the next thing. You can do a video. You can take blocks, or you can take pictures, or you can take worksheets and say, "Here's my data. I need you to move into the next step." and they will do it. You need to have proof. Just have your proof that your child is ready to move on, and they'll do it. And that includes anything. If you and you know what accommodations your child needs. Does he or she need to sit on the floor? Do they need somebody sitting next to them? Do they need headphones? And whatever the accommodations are, and I didn't know this, make sure they are written into that IEP. Because if they're written into the IEP, then the school system has to do them. Okay, so these are the ways that with the data and demand that these things are written into the IEP, these are the things that your child, that you can make sure that the school takes very, very seriously. So when we have lack of meaningful progress, it's usually because we can't tell. And usually the reason we can't tell is because the school system is not collecting or analyzing the data regularly to see if the goals are being met. The goals are often, sometimes they're too vague or too measurable or not measurable enough. So we can't tell. They're not smart. We can't tell if the goals are working or not. We don't know. And that's usually because the school system is making assumptions based on whatever the ability, the disability label is. They're saying, well, it's like, um, a child is in a wheelchair and they're saying, well, he can't make a basket. That's not true, right? Or he's in a wheelchair and he can't add two numbers. Well, that we know that's not true. So their failure to presume competence or the goals are not set up for the child to make progress. They're too vague. It might just say Johnny needs to read this year. That's vague. What is he going to read? What are your goals? Is he going to be reading chapter books? Is he going to be reading informational books? What is he reading and what level is he reading? And how long? So our goal is going to specifically say Johnny will read chapter books that are fourth grade level, um, and at the he will read them. We will give him 8 weeks to read them. Okay, so in 8 weeks, we will see if he understands what he read over that 8 week period. And then we can say, oh, he's on a fourth grade level. Let's try the fifth grade level now. So that's the way we move him on. Okay, so if not, when you go into your IEP meeting, you should be feeling hopeful, understood, supported, and optimistic. That's what my advocacy will help you do. You're not going to go in feeling upset or nervous, but you're going to have confidence and know that you're going to get what you need because the squeaky wheel gets what they need in the IEP world. So this program is for you if you're a parent whose child has an IEP and you want to see your child educated. If you refuse to get involved in IEP drama, and you need some simple strategies that will help you get phenomenal results. What makes me different from the others is that I have sat on both sides of the table. I have been an IEP teacher and I have been a parent with a child with an IEP. So I know the kind of things that are said once you walk out that IEP room, and I know how to get things. I can't get everything, but I know how to get the most important things to you from the IEP team. Um, and this is just some what some parents have said, how overwhelmed and frustrated they felt, but once they started working with me, they felt a whole lot better, and they got results. Okay. So I am inviting you to work with me to create an IEP that reflects your child's true potential, not just their challenges. We don't want to deal with an IEP that has a bunch of negative things on it. We want an IEP that is positive. It says, well, right now, Johnny is reading on a second grade level, and within a few weeks, we're going to have him reading on a third grade level because we're going to take data and we're going to give him the accommodations he needs. The accommodations may be maybe somebody needs to sit with him while he's reading. Maybe he needs a bookmark under each line for the words he's reading. Maybe he needs more introduction to the book, whatever he needs. Maybe the books that he reads need to be interesting. Something if he loves football, let's go get him a bunch of sports books. Let's get him books on football players, things that he will read. Those are the type of things that's simple that we can do for accommodations, and we will put that in the IEP so that they will do them. Okay? No more guessing or wondering, well, I wonder what he's doing today. This keeps the school system from calling you in the middle of the day when you're at work because they're doing things that are keeping your child challenged and moving. Okay. All right. So you can get a free consultation from me and we can talk about how we move on for me to evaluate your IEP and evaluate your child and give you a roadmap, tell you what to do when you go into that IEP meeting, it's $250. If you want me to go, it's another $150, as long as it's within 50 miles of my home. Um, yeah. If you need me, if you feel you're going to need me more than just this one IEP time, and you've got you want me to help you on into the rest of the year after we do this, I can give you a subscription and you can pay me $25 a month and call me about any question that you have. Curriculum, IEP, anything to do with getting your child an education. And that's about it. Thank you very much. And here's my information, my website, my calendar, where you can make an appointment, and my phone number. Thank you.